I am on the edge of my seat just thinking about the sheer emotional weight of the Thursday, June 11th episode. We have to start with the absolute heartbreaking reality of Trina Robinson's current situation. The visual of Trina literally fleeing the suffocating atmosphere of her mother's baby shower is a scene that will stick with me for a long time. We see her practically sprinting away from the balloons and the forced smiles, finally collapsing into a moment of vulnerability with Giovanni, Gio Palmieri, and Emma Scorpio Drake. Trina looks utterly exhausted, the emotional toll of the Ashford and Robinson family feud etched into every line of her face. She looks at Gio and Emma, her voice trembling but resolute, and insists that she does not want to be part of this anymore. She declares, with a heartbreaking finality, that she is entirely done with the situation. The way I interpret it, this isn't just about stepping back from party planning or a minor disagreement. This is Trina preserving her own mental health. She feels entirely trapped in the toxic crossfire of the escalating dispute between Portia Robinson and Curtis Ashford. I genuinely believe that Trina is making the healthiest choice possible by walking away, even if it hurts to see her so alienated from her own family. While Trina is seeking refuge with her peers, the adults are completely losing the plot over at the Metro Court Gardens. The visual contrast between the serene, lush greenery of the gardens and the explosive, ugly hostility between Portia, Curtis, Jordan Ashford, and Isaiah Gannon is a masterclass in soap opera staging. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a scalpel. They are going back and forth, throwing accusations regarding Curtis's alleged attack on Isaiah, and the volume is just rising and rising. But then, in walks the matriarch herself, Stella Henry. I feel like Stella is the only person in Port Charles who can command a room simply by narrowing her eyes. She steps right into the middle of this escalating hostility, her posture rigid, and delivers a desperately needed reality check. She makes it crystal clear that if Curtis, Jordan, Portia, and Isaiah cannot learn to get along, it is the children who will ultimately suffer the consequences. Stella's warning hangs in the air, a heavy, sobering truth that forces everyone to pause. I genuinely believe that without Stella, this family would completely fracture beyond repair. Now, let us pivot to the incredibly tense standoff happening at Carly Spencer's house. The atmosphere in Carly's living room is electric with a dangerous, unspoken history. Valentine Cassadine is standing there, exuding that terrifyingly calm, calculated aura of his, while Carly is pacing like a caged tiger. Carly is absolutely desperate to find Jocelyn, and her maternal instincts are screaming at her to storm Windermere immediately. Valentine, however, issues a chilling, softly spoken warning about playing the game the wrong way. He cautions her against this reckless strategy, his eyes practically pleading with her to understand the danger she is courting. But this is Carly Spencer we are talking about. I know some fans online have been complaining lately that Carly is being too reckless here, acting impulsively and running into Windermere blind without a proper tactical plan. But I respectfully disagree with that analysis. When your child is missing, logic goes out the window. The way I interpret it, Carly's refusal to listen to Valentine isn't arrogance. It is the raw, unadulterated terror of a mother who knows her daughter is in peril. Despite Valentine's ominous warnings, I feel like Carly is entirely justified in her absolute insistence on heading to that dark, sprawling Cassadine Island to find Jocelyn. She will burn Windermere to the ground if she has to, and I am here for every second of it. If you thought the tension at Carly's was high, let's talk about the absolute psychological thriller unfolding at Turning Woods. I am on the edge of my seat just recalling the moment Willow Kane steps into Jack Brennan's room, syringe in hand, ready to administer another dose of the paralytic drug. The room is dimly lit, sterile, and quiet, lulling Willow into a false sense of security. Asha! As she leans in to inject him, Brennan's hand suddenly shoots out and violently grabs her arm. The sheer panic that washes over Willow's face is visceral. She is completely horrified and shocked to realize that Brennan is not only conscious but physically capable of stopping her. He clearly does not want another dose of that medication, and he knows he has to act fast to stop Willow from continuing this medical harassment. But then, the scene shifts from physical shock to psychological warfare. Willow, recovering from her initial panic, is actually thrilled to see that Brennan can talk. In her mind, she feels like the sooner she can get the next dose into him, the better. But Brennan is a master manipulator. He looks at her, his grip still firm, and begins to negotiate. He smoothly argues that if Willow goes through with injecting him, she will completely destroy her own chances of getting the upper hand. He dangles the ultimate bait in front of her, leverage against Drew Kane. Brennan knows exactly how much Willow is struggling with Drew's actions, and he uses that desperation to forge a dark alliance. He tells her that he can give her the ammunition she needs to put pressure on Drew, but only if she stops the injections and strikes a deal with him. The way I interpret it, Brennan is playing 3D chess while Willow is playing checkers. He is banking on her hatred for Drew overriding her medical ethics and her current mission. Furthermore, there are heavy hints dropping that Nina Reeves might be returning at some point to assist Brennan. If Nina gets involved in this twisted negotiation, Willow is going to find herself in a web so tangled she may never escape. I genuinely believe Willow is about to make a deal with the devil, and the fallout will be catastrophic. Finally, we have to discuss the heart-stopping climax of the episode involving Lucas Jones, Jen Sidwell, and Laura Collins. Over at the PCPD, Dante Falconeri receives a deeply disturbing phone call. The look of dread that washes over Dante's face tells us everything we need to know. Something terrible has happened, and it involves a shooting. Cut to the scene of the trap Lucas has meticulously laid for Sidwell. The visual execution of this scene is flawless. We see Lucas looking incredibly brave, but undeniably terrified, facing down a furious Jen Sidwell. Sidwell, having fallen completely for Lucas's trickery, is blinded by rage over the stolen blackmail documents. Without hesitation, Sidwell raises his weapon and fires. The sound of the gunshots echoing is deafening. He shoots Lucas multiple times, right in the chest. Lucas collapses to the ground, the impact throwing him backward. In rushes Laura Collins, her face a mask of pure, unadulterated horror. She drops to her knees beside Lucas, her hand shaking as she screams, "Can you hear me?" It is a moment of pure terror that had me holding my breath. But then comes the brilliant, triumphant twist. Lucas, wincing in agonizing pain but very much alive, reveals that he is wearing a bulletproof vest. He took the hits deliberately. I feel like Lucas is the unsung hero of Port Charles right now. He literally put his life on the line, using himself as human bait to catch Sidwell committing attempted murder on hidden cameras. The goal was to capture irrefutable video evidence, and through sheer bravery and a few clever tricks, Lucas has succeeded. If this video footage is secured, it will be the final nail in the coffin for Sidwell's career and freedom. Lucas is hoping to send this monster to prison for a very long time, and I genuinely believe this sacrifice will be the key to taking Sidwell down for good. Looking at all these explosive narratives, I cannot help but see a massive collision course forming on the horizon for Port Charles. The way I interpret it, all these separate threads are about to weave into a single, devastating tapestry. Carly's reckless invasion of Windermere to find Jocelyn is bound to intersect with the dark secrets Valentine is trying to protect, potentially triggering a deadly standoff on Cassadine Island. Meanwhile, Willow's secret, illicit negotiation with Brennan at Turning Woods is going to blow up in her face, especially with Michael secretly plotting to push her and Chase together. When the truth about her alliance with Brennan comes out, it will be the exact catalyst Michael needs to destroy her world. And back in the heart of the city, Trina's desperate attempt to escape her family's toxicity will likely fail as the fallout from Curtis's trial and Isaiah's presence reaches a boiling point, forcing her back into the fray, just as Stella predicted. Finally, Lucas's heroic but incredibly dangerous trap for Sidwell will bring Dante and the entire PCPD down on the criminal underworld, sending shockwaves that will touch every single resident. We are witnessing the calm before an absolute hurricane of drama, and I am here for every single soapy, dramatic second of it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.